All right, welcome everyone to the FlexBI 7 version webinar. I'm Guido, and I will be doing the webinar here. And for a little bit about myself, if you write something on support at FlexBI, then I might be the person who answers you. And I'm the report builder expert. So if someone in the company has trouble with reports, they usually come to me. So let's get started. In this version, we focused on a custom cube builder functionality. I'll show you in a second how that works. What is that? We reached new horizons with a priority ERP integration, and we also did some projects where we did use machine learning modules. We integrated with those, and then we imported some weather data, and on top of that, we have conditional alerts that can send you information directly to your email when something changes in your account. So let's start with the Cube Builder, because this is, for us personally, like one of the most exciting features yet. And a little bit background about Cube Builder and why is it good? Why do we went this way? Early when we started integrating with Hansawold, because that was our standard ERP, which was our first integration, we built everything by hand. When a customer requested to import new data set, new dimension, measure some kind of data, we had to sit down and program that and implement that ourselves. But as the time went on, we started to run into more corner cases, something specific to the customer, something programmed in HAL, and then we started to realize that we can't manage to serve everyone and do everything ourselves. So we wanted to give some tools to customers themselves to import additional information and into their accounts. And we also wanted to make it more efficient so that they don't have to wait on us. You can just use the functionality that I'm talking about right now, which is custom fields, import the data, and you have it in. So how it works, or what can you do with it? You can import new dimensions, new measures, new properties, new hierarchies, and you can even create new data cubes with this functionality. And there's also possibilities to share measures between different cubes. If you are a report builder, this will make a little more sense, but to simplify it, you have more freedom to report on what kind of data you want, in what kind of way do you want, basically. So how this works, or how this looks like, is there's a custom field definition. I'm not going to explain you in detail how to set this up, because to be fair, it's not simple. You do need to have a little bit more understanding of how the cubes work and what's a dimension, what's a measure. And by the way, if you would like to learn that, we have a training, so you can sign up for the training if you have some kind of big integration you would like to create, or new data cube, or a lot of custom fields you want to work. We can do a training on that as well. But in the Hansawold import options or any other application, there's an advanced setting tab, and in this advanced setting tab, you can specify that, oh, when I'm importing data from our ERP system, I want to take this field and I want to use it as a measurement, maybe a property. I want to make it as a dimension, and then I have some hierarchies. So I'll organize data in this way. So we wanted to recreate everything we can do with when we code the data cubes, and give all the tools to the customer so they can do all of that themselves. And so here's just an example of a data cube, or the definition, how it looked like. The definition starts with, in this example, using this definition, we built a new data cube that's called project transactions. That comes from standard ERP. There's a module, project transactions, and we just build a cube. This is an example on how it works. We have project transaction amount, gross profit, and quantity over time. And not only that, if I open up the project transaction cube, there's also possibilities to filter by person, by item, most of the standard things. It's also connected to the invoices cube, so you can see what kind of invoice is connected, project transactions, you can see currency, and this is just what we created. If you have other needs or bigger imagination, you can go as far as you want. And the definition looks like this. We start with defining what kind of dimensions we will have. Here first we have project transactions, then we have other dimensions like item types. Then once that's defined, you define bind those fields together. You say that, from project transaction, this will be the person, this will be the customer, so on, so on. And then you finish it up by mentioning what kind of measurements or measures or what kind of numbers you would like to see about this data cube. And then the result is a functional new data cube, and you can add them. Easy, easy as that. And there's also possibilities to add additional information or import additional information to existing data cubes. For example, here I have a imported price lists, and I picked price lists because it's a quite complicated scenario where it has to combine multiple registers together. And here I have price lists, then I have items, and then I have customers, a 3-level hierarchy, and fully functional and available in Invoices Cube. And by the way, if you need any of these definitions, I can copy paste it, or you can copy paste them into your account, and we can start using them already. So custom cube builder, and using this custom cube builder, we also started have integrated with Priority ERP, meaning that other applications like standard ERP or Hanswald application, they're built, we program that, and then it's kind of in the code. But for application like Priority, everything is open, and you can go and edit and change things and import new things. Currently, if I go to source data, for example, and I add new source application, you will see now that on the list there's Priority application. So we can just click on that, set up the connection parameters, define what we want to import, and we can just use Priority now. And the main idea here is that this is the direction in general in the product we're going, that we want to have integrations and want to have freedom for the customers to go and build what they want. And of course, if they need help, we can always help. If they need, we have a training, we can train the customers on that. And again, one of the integration that we work with a partner to integrate here is Priority, and that's available. So let's go back to the presentation. And next slide. And next, like Alan wanted to learn a little bit more, I mentioned already, we have conditional report alerts. So there's a documentation page on that available, conditional report alerts, under analyze and visualize and report creation. That describes this as well, but I'll just show you some slides on how that works as well. So here I created a simple, very, very simple report where we have Nick for this month. And let's say we have Nick has a sales goal to sell 1,000 amount of products to customers. And then when he reaches the goal, he will get a price for reaching the goal, right? So, and we don't want to check the dashboard every morning. We want to get information, proactive information in email when he reaches the goal, so that when he reaches, we can just right away congratulate Nick on doing good job. So how do we set this up then? So first of all, we need to select conditional format or cell formatting. So we click on the column, we select cell formatting, and then we do a very simple setup where we say that up to 1,000, the color will be yellow for the item base amount, and above 1000, the color will turn green. And most importantly, regarding these conditional alerts, we need to check this checkbox right here and say that, oh, when the value changes to this number or this section of the condition, then I want to get information on that in my email. So that's what that means. Or it kind of enables for the report. Give me a second. Because once you have enabled that, okay, anyone can subscribe to this alert, people also need to subscribe to the alert. So you can set up an alert for this report. So there's an available alert for this report that people can use. And if someone wishes to get these emails, they can come the report, select subscribe to alert. And then once they subscribe to alert, they will get emails when things change. So I'll have subscribed to the alert. So that's why this is like a dark color. You see, this bell is white. When I have subscribed, it's dark color. And let's say that during the next 3 days, Nick does a good job. He does some sales, and then the value reaches over 1000. So now, since it's over 1000, we get an email, this kind of message that, oh, this report, you can click on the link, open it up, the value changed to this value. You can also set it up so that it shows the previous value, but you get the email when something changes. Maybe you want to use it, for example, to monitor budgets. You have budget for a project, and you want to make sure that you're within the budget. So when the value reaches the budget value, you also say, hey, guys, we need to ask the customer for additional budget, things like that. So there's a lot of use cases for this one. Maybe you can figure out something useful as well. Then during the last couple of months, we had some interesting projects where we also did an integration with Visual Crossing. And with this integration, we imported weather data. So we had weather data integration with Visual Crossing. So this is how it looks like. I'll open up a report as well. And here we have information about the weather. Today is May 14th. So we have kind of like, we took from that system, imported weather data, and we can have weather. We can see it tomorrow. The temperature is probably going to be 14. This is going to be humidity, wind speed, and so on. We have some cool icons as well here set up. And you can just import future predictions for the weather. And this can be useful if, for example, your business depends or your business changes based on the weather. And that was the case for one of our customers. And what we did is we just not only imported the weather data, we combined the weather data also together with the customer's customer flow. So here you can see there was a lot of, for example, here there was a lot of rain. So when there was a lot of rain, there was very few customers, and there's also very little sun, right? So the customer can compare the weather and their sales results, or the customer count, or whatever they wanted to see in this kind of scenario. And we went even a step further, and the customer also had set up a visual detection sensors, which basically they wanted to count how many customers visit there. It was a car washing company, so they have stations where customers can pull up with their cars and wash their cars, basically. So they wanted to know how many customers do they have, in what time periods, and how the weather influences how many customers, of course, they have. So here is an example where they set up sensors that detect how many people, when do they come, and also some additional information. And for the same customer, or another use case where Flex BI can import additional data, is machine learning. And we don't call these microservices, as they're not the main functionality. There's kind of additional functionality you can add on top of existing FlexBA. So here's like a simple example where we integrated the weather data together with the machine learning. So we imported the weather data in FlexBI. Then we pushed the data or gave the data to a trained machine learning model. And this machine learning model then predicted not the weather, that was already the other system do that well, but it predicted the customer count. So how many customers who looked at weather and predicted how many customers based on the weather will the customer have, right? So this is an interesting scenario, and this was the result. It was like 85% accuracy, so customer could see how many transactions do they have, what were the predicted transaction count, and there you can see what's the difference between the actual and predicted. And this is just one example where we can use machine learning or additional systems. We can use microservices like this trained AI model where we can communicate with other systems to get more data and more useful data for the customer. And this is kind of, as a reminder, FlexBI, this is just the graph of all of the integration together, where FlexBI can combine ERP, Internet of Things, machine learning, and add other data sources and give meaningful and insightful, very different data to the customer, right? So we took from ERP system, weather, car wash, visual sensors, and so on. And of course, there's also other smaller things that we do in the background that it will take quite a long time to go through all of them. But I do wanted to mention one thing that if you're a data admin, you probably notice that sometimes FlexBI, when working with HansaWorld application, got unauthorized, and we, together working with HansaWorld, we actually improved this this process in authentication process. So you should get way less or non-existent unauthorized errors when you're trying to connect to application. It wasn't, anything groundbreaking. Worst case scenario was kind of annoying, but we do care about the little things on the customers, and then we want to make the products as good as we possibly can. So that's about it. Thank you very much for joining the webinar and listening to everything. If you have any questions, you can contact me. Here's my information, and hope you see you guys in the next version webinar.